Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about increasing your download speeds on your console. Does changing your DNS actually work? What it can and cannot do. Well, let's get started. If you want a quick answer, these are the top 3 public DNS servers I recommend. First we have Cloudflare. Everyone knows Cloudflare by now. Then we have Google, and last but not least, OpenDNS. I think they're owned by Cisco now. You can't really go wrong with any of these options. I usually put the main DNS server as Cloudflare and the secondary as Google, just in case one goes down. A more advanced option is downloading a program like NameBench. This program lets you test DNS server speeds from your local connection. Each internet connection is different. A DNS server that might be faster for me might not be fast for you. It all depends on where you're at, location, region. A lot of things factor into how fast a DNS server can be. How to change your DNS settings. Start by going to Settings, then Network Settings. From there, we're going to set up a new connection. We're going to click the Options button and go to Advanced Options. And from Advanced Options, we're going to set the primary and secondary DNS server to whichever you like. We're going to hit OK, and it will test the connection. Now that we have set the DNS server, the real question is, does it actually work? Speed tests are not a good test for this because they go up and down based on a lot of variables. We can mitigate the inaccurate results of these tests by taking multiple samples, hundreds of them, and using the average from all the samples. But even then, with all the variables involved, that is not an accurate representation. The main test will be done by downloading a video game with different DNS settings to see whichever downloads faster. I downloaded ARC 10 times each on the bad DNS and the good DNS, and the results were shocking, to say the least. A little background. I have a fiber connection, 1 gigabit, and an internal gigabit network as well. The PS5 is connected via LAN cable. So on the bad DNS server, ARC took 3 hours and 30 minutes to download. The ETA calculator on the bad DNS was horrible. It was always off by an hour. The average download speed on the bad DNS server was around 10 megabytes per second. Converted over to megabits, that would be 80. So on the bad DNS with a gigabit connection, I was only utilizing less than 10% of my actual internet speed. While playing online, there was no lag. I noticed the ping was up by 1 or 2 milliseconds, but that can be due to a lot of different variables. Overall, the games were very playable and no noticeable lag was discovered. Now time for the fast DNS server. On the fast DNS server, the game only took 20 minutes to download. It was extremely fast and averagely finished around 22 minutes. The average speed of the downloads were around 115 megabytes per second. Converted over to megabits, that will be around 920. So the 1 gigabit connection was being used up pretty well. Now for what changing the DNS server will or will not do. If you have a bad internet connection, changing your DNS server will not fix it magically. It won't help you change your ping. Yes, it might go up or down 1 or 2, but that's just because it can resolve the DNS faster. It doesn't actually improve anything. If you have a bad network, you have a bad network. Sorry. It will, however, increase your download speeds, so you can download games and patches faster. Overall, there was more than an 850% increase in download speeds when switching from a bad DNS server to a good DNS server. Most ISPs will not be this bad, and your own ISP server will actually perform fairly similar to Cloudflare's or DNS's, just might be a little bit faster. This was an extreme scenario example. What else can you do to improve your game performance and lag less? Well, a couple things are: one, you should try getting better internet service. While plans like the 1 gigabit are great and fast, but they are unnecessary for gaming at least. You should always go with a service or plan that meets your household needs. For example, if your household uses a lot of internet, I suggest getting a higher speed. The more devices, the more things that are accessing the internet at the same time, the less bandwidth you would have. Most games use very little data. That's why you don't need a lot of speed. Another thing I would recommend is upgrading your router. Those modem gateway combos you get from the cable provider or internet provider are horrible. They do not do their jobs well. A lot of these routers suffer from buffer bloat. Buffer bloat is when your router is not able to send a packet to your machine because it is congested. It's trying to send too many things to too many devices at the same time. But that only happens if too many devices are connected to the Wi-Fi, which nowadays everything is. And last but not least is how you connect your consoles to the internet. Now, using a LAN cable is very important. That's the best way to get a connection to your console. Nothing beats an actual cable with a physical connection. But everyone's situation is different. You might not be able to use a LAN cable. In that case, you should always try to use 5G. That's what everyone says at least. But depending on how many walls the Wi-Fi signal has to travel through, how much obstacles it has in its way, the 2.4 GHz band might be better. This is all situational. 5 GHz has higher speeds, but 2.4 has longer reach. So if there are a lot of obstacles in the way, a lot of walls, furniture, random things that lay around the house, 2.4 might give you better results, but your mileage may vary. Well, that's all from me, folks. If you like the information I provided in the video, please hit that like button. If you're new and this video helped you out, please hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting more videos like this soon. Also, let me know in the comments if you guys would like me to make my own DNS server and test it out to see if it's faster.